A quick insight from WellView 365, powered by freshnews.ai. Waiting room compliance has become a daily operations problem, and operators need tighter control of compliance, safety, and trust. Executive summary: waiting room screens function as clinical communication infrastructure that shapes what patients see and understand before an encounter. Treating this content as a governed asset means aligning playlists, messages, and overrides with existing compliance, safety, and patient information policies. The outcome is a dependable channel for consistent notices and rapid safety or emergency messaging that can be demonstrated, defended during reviews and audits. Today's signal: operations leaders are finding during annual compliance reviews and mid-year safety audits that waiting room screens are undocumented gaps in their regulated environment. Screen content, rotations, and emergency messages often sit outside formal policies, while surveyors now treat them as part of the clinical communication footprint. This disconnect is forcing quick decisions on ownership, standards, and how fast safety or policy changes can be reflected on most waiting room display. WellView 365 enables support safety, compliance, emergency messaging by standardizing core operational workflows across end-to-end delivery paths. Why it matters? Here are 4 takeaways. First, screen content now shows up in compliance findings, which can trigger corrective action plans or follow-up inspections. Second, uncontrolled playlists slow emergency messaging because staff cannot override or coordinate content reliably across locations. Third, decentralized ownership makes it hard to prove who approved what and when during audits focused on patient-facing information. Fourth, inconsistent messages across sites undermine patient trust and create more questions for front desk and clinical staff to manage. How it works in practice: a common example is a safety audit where surveyors ask how patient rights notices, infection prevention reminders, or emergency instructions reach people in the waiting room. The operations lead points to wall posters and policy binders, but waiting room screens are running content chosen months ago by local staff or a vendor playlist. No one on site can show a current content inventory, an approval trail, or how fast emergency messages can be pushed. When screens are treated as clinical infrastructure, there is a named owner, a documented update cadence, and a simple path to swap in compliant or emergency content across many waiting rooms within minutes. One practical adjustment: assign a single operational owner for waiting room screens this week. What to do next? Here are 4 takeaways. First, review inventory every waiting room screen, noting location, device, current content source, and who last changed it. Second, document a simple approval workflow that links content types on screens to existing compliance and patient safety policies. Third, set a standard refresh and review cadence for safety, compliance, and emergency messaging in waiting rooms. Fourth, review test an emergency message push across at least one site's waiting room screens and record how long it takes end to end.